Back with another Keanu-thon review, and today talking about and reviewing A Scanner Darkly. And this is a good flick, first time watch for me. I picked this up a while back, and I'm glad I watched it. I've always heard about this film, from its animation style, which I'll go more into the information with that. But the way it's shot, definitely I would say one of Keanu's more unique films. And you have a really good cast. I mean, right off the bat, you have Keanu Reeves, you have Robert Downey Jr., Woody Harrelson, Winona Ryder, and so yeah, really good cast. But the plot to the story, sort of going off here too, it's in the near future, and America, virtually loses the war on drugs, and you have Keanu's character in the film as his character Bob. He's this narcotics cop in, California, Orange County. And, he becomes an addict, when he goes undercover. And what's really interesting about this film is, when he's at work, he has this, like, blur suit. Like, it's hard to describe, but when he's at work, it's like they wear these suits, and it's like blur suits, like, again, hard to describe. You might have to go and seek out clips of the film. But you see, like, the body changing and to, like, different disguises or different, like a chameleon suit. And you would see, like, images of different people. And, when he gets off work, before he leaves, he would take off this blur suit. So, again, it's interesting, what they did there. And, some really cool visuals with the blur suit. So when he's at work, he's wearing this blur suit, but, back at this house, you have these other two characters in the film. You have Robert Downey Jr.'s character and Woody Harrelson's character. They're also drug addicts. In which the film starts off with a Rory Cochrane's character, which I'll get more into that, but getting back to the plot real quick. You also have Winona Ryder, her character in the film, Donna, and, her dealer, again, these other two characters, and meanwhile, back at work, Keanu, his character's been acting a little bit weird, that they'd have, like, these evaluation tests with this character. Like, they think something's going on here, that maybe, he's too far gone. And, back at this drug house, Keanu's character is spying on these two characters, on Robert Downey Jr., and he starts to have suspicions. Like, again, he's trying to, meanwhile, where he's dealing with his own demons, of, taking these drugs and stuff. And then, like I said, you have these other characters. And I know I'm kind of going over the place with the plot, but, that's, again, the story pretty much. But again, the film itself, it's a really interesting film. And, talking about the cast first. Keanu Reeves, I thought he was good here. I liked his character. And a definitely unique performance from Keanu. And again, the whole film is unique because it's shot, I forgot what this animation's called, but, okay, it says right here, the film was filmed digitally using Panasonic, some term AG DVX 100, animated with Photoshop, a proprietary graphics editing program created by Bob Sapston. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Photoshop uses an animation technique called interpolated rotoscope, which is previously used in Linklater's, the director's film Waking Life. Linklater discussed the ideas and inspiration behind his use of rotoscoping in a documentary, linking it to his own personal experiences of lucid dreaming. So, rotoscoping. And also says right here that after the film was shot and then edited, um, the animators were in post-production for roughly a year and a half. So I think they filmed it in a short amount of time, but the animation, to make the whole film like this, took a year and a half. I think it was filmed in 2004, I believe. Like 2004. But, like I said, getting back to the cast, I was talking about that, I got away, but again, you have Keanu Reeves in the film as this, character. Again, he's this he's a undercover cop, but at the same time, they believe at his work that something's not right, that maybe, he's gone too far, that this substance D, this drug that they mentioned in the film, substance D, that, again, they're running these tests on Keanu's character. But like I said, Keanu's good in the film. You have Robert Downey Jr., his character, and Woody Harrelson, and, they're both addicts in the film. And, some of the scenes that, like, those three actors would share, Keanu, Robert Downey Jr., and Woody Harrelson, I thought they were done, I thought there were some cool moments in the film between these three characters. And I don't know, it seems like, for me at times, when it got away from those three, I'm not going to say that I didn't care, but I don't know, it was more interesting to see, Keanu, Robert Downey Jr., and Woody Harrelson play off each other. And especially with these two characters here, because these two characters are so out of it. I mean, you would have scenes where, their car would break down and they're looking at their engine. You get this one scene where they're looking at their engine and, Robert Downey Jr. is like, how can this happen? And again, they're kind of spaced out and they're addicts. Look at Woody Harrelson's expression there. So, they're good in the film. Winona Ryder, her character, I thought she was good support. Rory Cochrane, I've seen this guy before in some stuff. I don't know if I didn't really care for his character as much, especially in the beginning of the film where you see his characters fighting off these bugs, which they call aphids in the film. And I believe it's the drugs is making him think that he's got these bugs on him. And Rory Cochrane's expressions in the film, it's kind of over the top. It's or he's looking like that into the camera. I get he's an addict, but I don't know. I just didn't really care for his performance in the film, Rory Cochrane. And again, I've seen him in other stuff, but when doing this, in the film and throughout the film, hey, how you doing? And I just didn't really care for that. But, at least the rest of the cast, from Keanu's character to Robert Downey Jr., Woody Harrelson, Winona Ryder, I thought they were, again, they all did good. And especially those three right there. So really good cast. And directed by Richard Linklater. Now, Richard Linklater, of course, directed School of Rock before this. He also directed Fast Food Nation, which I've heard about but haven't seen. The Newton Boys back in the day. I thought he did a good job here. Interesting direction. And again, with the animation, I thought it worked well. And I know it's based on, it says right here, science fiction novel by Philip K. Dick, published in 1977. The semi-autobiographical story is set in dystopian Orange County in California, and then the future of June 94, and includes an extensive portrayal of drug culture and drug use. And based on Philip K. Dick's personal drug experiences, and that Philip K. Dick's daughters gave writer and director Richard Linklater their father's personal copy of the novel when he completed the movie. So that's interesting. Terry Gilliam was originally wanted to make this film he wanted to make a motion picture version of the novel in the early 90s. So, and what's interesting too is like Alex Jones appears in the film as a street prophet, and you see his character get kidnapped by this mysterious group, like ninjas. I'm like, that's funny. So you have an appearance from Alex Jones in the film. Richard Linklater casted Robert Downey Jr. because he wanted someone who could be intelligent, evil, and humorous in the role of Barris. And the movie was given its animation style to make it appear like a live-action graphic novel, as opposed to a regular novel to film adaptation to give it a more darker, thought-provoking style and theme, which graphic novels are known for. And that's something that the film does. I mean, really, it's a thought-provoking film because the dialogue is at times, you can say heavy. I don't know what terms you want to use for that, because it's a lot of talk about drugs and the substance D, this drug, which some of these characters are hooked on, and then, Keanu's character, and, and especially the way the animation looks. I mean, I really love the attention to detail in the film. I thought they did a great job with the visual style, and, the look of the film, it definitely feels like a graphic novel come to life, which is why, like I said, I think it's one of Keanu's more unique films. And and then, by the end of the film, it's where it kind of gets a little weird, I will admit. Because you have Winona Ryder's character takes our main character Keanu to this really like rehab clinic, for his symptom, like, because he's going through withdrawal I'm getting ahead of myself. He's going through withdrawal of this drug, so Winona Ryder's character sends him to this rehab clinic, and it's been revealed that Winona Ryder's character has been a narcotics agent all along, and yeah, so she sends our main character to this rehab program, and the main character is renamed Bruce, and so I mean the film kind of I don't know, it ends a little bit weird because you have like Keanu Reeves' character in like this field, and so yeah, the film kind of ends on a weird note, but again, with the film itself, overall, Scanner Darkly, again, a really good film. Interesting, the way the film is shot. Again, it does feel like this, graphic novel. It feels like a graphic novel come to life. And of course, good performances here from Keanu, even in this like animation style. You still get good performances, from Keanu to Robert Downey Jr., Woody Harrelson. Again, those characters are kind of, spaced out and out there. Winona Ryder. Again, Rory Cochrane? Yeah, I didn't really care for his performance as much. But again, a lot of interesting shots, especially with Keanu's character wearing this like scramble suit. Again, it's like this blur suit where, because he can't really, it's like a cover suit, like I don't know how to describe it. You have to go out and see clips for yourself. But it's like it scrambles to like different images of people. But again, interesting. So, yeah, I mean, overall, again, Scanner Darkly, really good film. I definitely recommend. I mean, it's not going to be, it's one of these films that I think for the performances, the style, the visuals, I think it's a unique movie. I would say that one thing with this, I would say the first half is more interesting. So like, but still, it's not a bad movie. So definitely, if you haven't seen this, do check it out. A Scanner Darkly. So that's my review of that. And next up, I'll be talking about and reviewing The Lake House for the next review of the Keanu-thon. So stay tuned for that, and have a good one.